saw a huge dump to the downside, and we did hit that $30,000 support. And if that sounds interesting, then please stay tuned to this video. Alright guys, so let's look back at what just happened. We have been seeing some major moves in Bitcoin. A lot of volume has been going down the tubes to the downside, so let's really talk about what is going on. So let's zoom into this chart and see what just happened. So as we see, when we zoom into this 1 hourly time frame chart, we can see that Bitcoin lost a lot of value here overnight, in the overnight hours, going into the morning on the 19th. And we can see that we actually saw a pretty good reaction to this $30,000 support. Like we said in the previous videos, this $30,000 support is really strong support, guys. So the fact that this held is a really good sign, especially when we zoom out to the 1 day time frame. We can really see the amount of volume that was traded on this day, which is going to be down here at the bottom right here. We can see how much volume was traded today, and it was a lot, guys. The last time this much volume was traded was back in March of 2020, and this is when Bitcoin did that 40% dive and hit the like the $3,000, $4,000 mark again. If you guys remember that correctly, let's zoom in on that just to kind of get a glimpse of what I'm talking about here. So we zoom in on that, we can see. You guys remember this? I remember this. This is a huge dump in 1 day. Massive red candle right here. This is a Darth Vader lightsaber right here. That thing just went straight down. That is the last time we saw this much volume, but Bitcoin actually held up a little bit better with the same amount of volume to the downside, which is a good sign if you're bullish here, because that $30,000 level is extremely strong, because we saw that much selling volume and Bitcoin still held up. So to break that support level, we're gonna have to get even more selling volume, probably about 1.5 times this exact selling volume, to really get through that really strong support down here. Remember how we were talking in the previous video, we have a really strong support right here because we have this little tiny fib channel, and that is between that $30,000 and that $27,000 area. That is going to act as support as it did previously right here where Bitcoin corrected on the way up. But let's really zoom in and really dig into this, because I do not believe that this drop is over. I believe that right now we are in FOMO mode, where people fear of missing out. Bitcoin hit a low, let's buy. You know, we got to buy the dip. Let's buy the dip, boys. I feel like this is what's happening right now. We did see a really good buying volume here on the 1 hourly time frame. You know, I haven't seen buying volume like this in the 1 hourly time frame for an extremely long time. I mean, there's really nothing that really matches up to it in the near past here. So we had that much buying volume, but Bitcoin really did not react that much to the upside. As you guys know, we are in this big Fibonacci channel between that $43,000 level and that $30,000 level, which is a huge trading range. So we can see that Bitcoin is making its way to the top side of this channel, which is very strong resistance. You guys see that red and that lime green line. This is really strong resistance. This is really strong support. And now it is truly a battle between the bears and the bulls, and we have to see who is going to win here. Now the momentum is shifted to the downside, guys, which means that to shift it back up to the upside, we're going to have to see some extreme price movement, extreme volume. Maybe some trading patterns are going to come out here. I haven't seen any yet, but you know, I really wanted to kind of make some remarks about this drop, to the drop of the $20,000 area. You know, back in 2017. Let's go back down there. Let's go to that side of the chart. Woo, that was a long time ago, guys. Okay, so let's go back to that side of the chart. Here we are. So this particular drop reminds me of this drop right here from 20K down to 10K. You guys remember this drop? It was right around here. It was the Christmas, and it went down here. And this reminds me of this drop, because this drop also saw a really good reaction back up to the upside around this level right here, the $17,000 level. And I believe that we are in this stage of Bitcoin's downturn. As of right now, the evidence that's pointing towards this is, as you guys see, the Bitcoin hit the downside like this, had some really good reactions, hit topside again, could not get above the previous high, and actually went down lower. And everything is kind of pointing towards this pattern right here. There's a lot of similarities. I mean, if you just look at them, you can kind of see some similarities here. Let's go back to the other side. Whoop. So yeah, basically we had that run up to 20K, which is right here. Here's that little dump right there, went up, and then now we're kind of just doing that little dancing area right here. So basically, guys, I would be very cautious at this level. I would not be convinced that this is any type of bottom. Stay very skeptical, guys. If you are not in a position, again, this is not financial advice. This is for educational purposes only. But if you are in any type of position right now, I would advise you to, if you're in this trading range, stay in this trading range. You know, have a stop loss below that $30,000 mark. Probably at that 26.5, like 26,500. That's going to be your rock bottom sell price, because if it breaks down below that level, we're going to be going to those lower targets, which we discussed in the previous video. If you guys have not watched the previous video, it's going to be up here in the top right corner. And basically, let's talk about those targets just in case you guys weren't tuned in. That target is going to be at that $14,000 to $20,000 level. It's a pretty big range, but as you know, Bitcoin can really move very fast. So as we see, this $14,000 level is right here. We can see that it was a very strong resistance right here, and if we zoom back even further, it was very strong resistance right here, and that's where we had that big consolidation at the $20,000 zone. So this can happen very easily. If this $30,000 level does not hold support and it does break through, as we know, it does take a lot to break through that area, the drop is going to be significant. And if we look at the drop from that area, the 26,000 to the 14,000, that is another 48% drop. That's why we're kind of predicting this, because we are going to see a more significant drop than this $40,000 drop, which was only, let's look at it, was only about a 30% drop. So this drop is going to be more significant. It's going to have more pressure behind it. It's going to have more selling pressure behind it. And basically, we really have to watch out at this level. This is kind of similar to that 6K to 3K scenario. If we can find it back here. So this kind of right here, if you guys remember this part of the chart, basically Bitcoin was flatlining on support, and the support finally gave through. This would have been your stop loss. If you were a smart trader, would have been your stop loss at these bottoms. These bottoms would have been your stop loss for any further trading. It's kind of like what we're doing right now, because if the ceiling, or if the floor does drop out and we had our stop loss right there, we would have saved ourselves, let's check, we would have saved ourselves about 45% of our money there. So that's why we're trying to make that stop loss as tight as possible, but not too constrictive, because as we know, Bitcoin can move a lot. We're just doing this, we're making an educated stop loss here. But yeah, guys, I mean, right now I'm gonna keep you guys updated. I mean, I just made 2 videos today. I'm gonna keep you guys updated because Bitcoin is moving pretty wildly. It's pretty exciting to see this volatility coming out of Bitcoin to the downside now instead of the upside. We're getting a little bit of fluctuation in the market, which is always good, especially if you're a trader, because it just makes it fun, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, guys, if you guys want to see more videos like this, have any questions, comments, concerns, anything like that, just leave them down below in the comment section. I'll make sure to get back to you. And if you guys really like this video, please leave a like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel, and I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you next time.